So it is official. We are moving. AMS is moving into some new spaces right down there. We got 6,000 more square feet. It's pretty exciting. The inside of the shop is pretty much packed with shipping, all the orders that we have going on. So we're going to meet up with Martin and Max right now, and they're going to explain what we're going to be doing with the new space.
Welcome to AMS. We're going to show you kind of where we are currently and some exciting things that are happening here very shortly, and much needed things that are happening also. So we're gonna kick it off by walking the front, showing you guys around the offices, and heading back and showing you everything behind the scenes.
So a quick rundown, we got our sales office back there, our showroom, which is funny. We watched a video from 10 years ago. This is all waiting room here, pretty much. And then like sales office was in there. It was way more space. It's all shrunken down to small waiting area and then all this office space. So we got the sales staff, customer service down here. Back in the day when there were magazine articles on the walls.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to make sure that I was checking.
Marketing office, tuning office for 2 of our tuners. So you can tell it's tight space. There's only 2 people in one office, so we're just ass to elbows right now. Just completely out of space. First magazine article, first product I designed was the camshaft for AmeriCore XR4 Ti, 2.3 liter turbo forward. So it's actually the first article. What year was this? 2001. So yeah, it's been a long time. It was the first article, technically. Accounting. Max's mine office down here, and yeah, that's about it.
All right, so now we'll be taking a walk into
I'm back in the main workshop right now.
the main room.
Those are the fun stuff. Yeah. See another office there. Purchasing shop managers in there. We got our lunchroom / meeting room in there. So it's not very fancy. Not very fancy. Right? We show you in there. It's a multi-purpose room. So this is our main shop right here. We have some inventory. A lot of actually gear inventory is in this room. It's 2 levels in there. Our main workshop is here. The main workshop takes up a lot of area. It's not a majority of our business as far as like income comes or goes, because we want to work on the cars, build the cars, keep ourselves familiar with our own product. Then we get instant feedback from the mechanics. If something doesn't fit right or it can be improved, we hear about it right away. We also see the changes in the car that happen sometimes year to year. I mean, the same car that mid-year changes something, something feels a little different, so it's kind of cool to see that right away. Plus we get to build the cars the way we want to kind of exemplify the product. Again, first thing at the seams. I mean, wow. We got shipping over here, stacked with boxes, which we like. Car washing area over here behind the inventory room there. As you can see, we're just completely stacked. Every night we pull cars in here, and during the day we pull them out through all side right now, but it's basically stacked. I'll walk in like, it's a mess, but really it's organized chaos. There's a difference between a mess or a lot of shit laying around that has dust on it. So I've been to shops before a long time. I was tuning, I'd go and like, there's a bunch of stuff there, but it's got a layer of dust. Here, everything's moving, so we're just out of space. And a lot of stuff going on. Shipping, everything else, inventory room here, all of it's going over there. It's all gonna be a workshop, making it a lot more organized, a lot cleaner. So we're kind of walking back to where the engines are being built and also the inventory room. So kick it off here, we have kind of a cleaning area. Clean up all the covers in here. We got our parts washer in there. We're doing transmissions in there, engines. Stuff was out looking brand new out of it basically, so that's pretty cool. Engine room back there, and again, it's a sealed engine room, so we got a door there with a filter for exchange of air. We have its own contained HVAC system in there, so cooling, heat, humidity, because again, you want to keep the engine room clean. You don't want any dust, debris in there, and you want to keep a constant temperature. You want to be building engine when it's
50 degrees in there, and then measuring clearances when it's 90. Stuff changes with temperatures. You want to keep pretty close tolerance on that. This is our main inventory room, which Max is gonna take over here.
Yeah, so as you can see, we are absolutely packed over here. This is one of the main reasons we are moving over there. Our goal is essentially to have all of the product in stock ready to ship so that our customers can get the product quick. So Carlos over here, our inventory manager, what's up Carlos? He came up with a method for organizing this room so that whenever we get orders, you can look at the part number on there. It's got a nice little barcode and everything like that, and you can find it wherever it's at on the shelf.
But this will all be moving over next door to the new spaces we got. So
Yeah, but stuff like, Great Wall of Silicone, we call it over here. Look at it. It's like 20 feet high of just boxes of silicone. It looks, I hate it. It looks it's horrible, but we had no space. First we got in here, there was like a ton of space, and next thing you know, we're going vertical with stuff, just stacking stuff higher and higher. Right now we have around 17,000 square feet here, and we have 6,000 square feet next door. We'll show you, but we're adding 6,000 more, plus we're mezzanine both of it, so it's going to be doubling that.
It'll be close to 10,000 square feet we're going to be
adding. So yeah.
For us, we manufacture all of this stuff in-house and ship it all over the world, and you would never guess just by looking at just the small footprint that we have here. So you're gonna see what kind of a mess it is back there right now.
This is the fab area over here. So we do all our final welding, assembly, kitting, everything here. We have a lift there we kind of use for race car development. As you can tell now, it's really just took over for storage because we're out of room again. But like I said, we're gonna add a lot more space to fabrication and kitting over to new space. But honestly, I think from the efficiency standpoint and how it's laid out, it's probably double our capacity.
Yeah, right now here we have 5.5 booths, and I think we're gonna go straight to 10 booths just so we can keep producing product as quickly as we can.
We can tell you what's gonna go in here. So this can be dedicated to race cars. So probably having, I think, a total of 1 lift there, 5 lifts here? 4 or 5. 4 or 5 lifts. We're taking those boosts down, everything here, L-stack there, we take down, and have 4 to 5 lifts here just dedicated to all the race car projects. So that's kind of the in-house or the customer cars that are really the big projects, the cars that are, 2,000, 3,000 horsepower, that kind of, I'd say they don't live here, but they really kind of live here because we're constantly upgrading, changing things. Custom races them, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a year. So we go to race, we maintain the car, and we mostly spend, I'd say, half the time here at the shop. So those are kind of long-term projects. We want to move them here and keep that area kind of for the workflow, stuff that we can get done quickly. More inventory, intercoolers. It's a lot of the kitting happens back here, so kind of final assembly. So the products they get manufactured, they're welded. All these guys kind of follow a set of directions. They do quality control here too, and they kind of put your final product together in a box, so you'll be sitting on the shelf, hopefully more of them, ready to ship out. But it's a critical part of the business. So we got 2 dynos. We used to have 2 DynoJet in-ground all-drive dynos that were linked. They work great. The problem is really high horsepower cars. So we're talking like 1,500 plus wheel horsepower cars with traction issues. So when they're new, the rollers are knurled, they kind of raised edges. They quickly kind of get smoothed out with the amount of cars we do. There's a couple cars here on here every day. So we actually had a company come out and weld on like carbide nibs on the rear roller of this, so it's almost like 20 grit sandpaper. Even then, big cars, like you're talking 1,700 horsepower plus cars, we have straps that go inside the dyno and go to the body and pull the cars down. So we got the 4 straps on the back, on the front, and then we got straps pulling the car down even. Even then, I think the most we had in this dyno was 2,800 wheel horsepower, Alpha Queen, and that took everything we could to get it to stick the dyno. But it's kind of dangerous too, so we decided to get a mainline dyno, hub dyno. So, it's no tire slip, don't worry about the car coming off the dyno.
I think it's rated at 3,000 horsepower, but it'll do more. Hopefully we'll use that. But we ran both, the same car, both dynos. Actually, it's really close. We're extremely close to each other. This dyno has a lot of inputs, so a lot of sensors you can put into the dyno and interface through OBD2 or for like Motec, Cybex, or other standalones. You can interface, you can capture data, so you can overlay, ignition timing, boost, whatever else you want over the dyno curve. So for testing, it'll be great. Right? But we have some ventilation, we have some fans in back for drawing air out. We're going to bring some fresh air, duct it across the dyno. I used to dyno cars and I go travel tuning. I'd be in a room with no ventilation. And I get to the point where I was getting headaches, and one time I had carbon dioxide poisoning. I literally was throwing up. And, and it was breath-breathing race gas. So I'm sure it's taken years off my life. But when we did this facility, I'm like, we got to do ventilation. I was training other people for tuning. I don't want them to go through that. So like in that room, we've got fresh air coming from outside, 2 giant fans blowing across. And the same thing here. When you're in here, you shouldn't even smell the exhaust. It should be all going out the back. So
the airflow is pretty serious in here.
It's one for, main thing, your health of the tuner, people in the room. Secondly, the engine. If the engine's taking in exhaust air or hot air, it's not going to get you the results you're looking for. So it's kind of for both, but mainly health and safety. You should be wearing a mask. We have a fresh air mask that ducts air in from outside. From for example, it's got a pump and it feeds the fresh air. Because nothing else. Nasty shit. Alright, so we're out here far away from the dyno because it's really loud in there. We got 2 giant fans that are sucking fresh air from outside. That's our dyno jet, all-wheel drive dyno. So that's kind of the day-to-day stuff. We can do 1,000, 1,200, 1,300 wheel horsepower, and that's no problem. Once we get over really 1,500 wheel horsepower, we're going to switch the cars to the mainline. That's that. And now we're going to shoot over to this space. So this building is ours. We ran out of room, as you can tell, in there, and so we're mixing our R&D and engineering all in this space. It was kind of a cluster. We got cars we're working on, cars we're developing products for in sharing the same workshop. We're overflowing from engineering, so we moved, built a whole new R&D facility over here, just dedicated to R&D. So all the engineering, all the scanning, all the vehicles that are on lifts for development are all over here. And here we are today, taking over 2 more units. So we'll have half this building now at this point. So hopefully in the next week or 2, we can start kind of transitioning, moving some stuff, or setting the space up. So we're gonna put about 3 more people in here next week. But so we have all of engineering and R&D happens down here.
I like to spend a lot of time over here because of that snack shelf over there.
Yeah, it's dangerous. So all the this is purely just R&D down here. So all the vehicles that we're developing products for are in the back. We have some equipment. We'll show you, like the laser scanner arm. We do a lot of our designs in computer because the goal is to kind of create a solution that fits right off the bat. And a lot of new cars, there's not a ton of space. Back in the day, we had all the space in the world. Well, now it's like you gotta fit it in this organic cavity. So a lot of it has to be an engineered solution. Stuff Brian's designing.
What are you working on, Brian?
Are we allowed to talk about this one?
Sure, you can talk about it. What's it called, Brian?
This is the I Prefer Twins fuel system for the V10, R8, and Huracan.
Twin fuel pumps, of course.
Twin fuel pumps. We're keeping it professional. So this is the factory basket. This will all go in there, and it'll send a whole bunch of fuel out into the fun hole where you can go fast.
The big challenge, or the criteria we set, it has to work as good as a factory system, and you can't have any compromises. So, like with the fuel system for the Huracan, there's issues with other fuel systems where you can't run it below half a tank because of fuel siphoning issues, stuff like that. So we did this kit. We want to make sure it literally mimics the factory function of the fuel system, as far as how it draws it, so we can run it the tank way down, all this kind of stuff. So, and also plug and play. Everything's got as far as connectors. We're not trying to splice and connect and make everything plug and play, easy for people to install, except flow way more fuel into the fun hole. Right? That describes it.
So normally we got a lot of stuff going on right now. We're literally overflowing of projects everywhere, from multiple development projects like you saw on the R8 to V10 stuff on the fuel system, transmission development, turbo kit development, engine development, currently right now we're still developing on a GTR. We got several turbo kits that are going together. Ricky, one of our master fabricators, is currently working on a couple testing fabrication projects so we can properly get the data, do the test. We have a new 2020 R8 Spider that we're adapting our current turbo kit. Soon we'll have something available for the 2020 R8 and also all the Spider lines starting from the beginning. Down at the end, we're hiding a Supra over there. Right now we have 2 Supras here for in-house development. We're also working with Jackie Dean too. So we're targeting the drag race market, the road race market, and also just the performance parts market for the entire platform. So there's some exciting stuff coming there. Right now we're actually working on that turbo kit. So it'll be a very unique turbo kit. Everybody else is doing it a certain way. We're going a different direction. So it's going to have some really
more
cool,
OEM.
More OEM, factory boost control, all the stuff that you kind of lose with a big turbo kit and running external wastegates. So that's going to be really, really exciting. But some of the other projects that you don't currently see in here right now, we have S55 M4 that we're still doing a little bit of development on. The Q60, we have a whole laundry list of products coming out for the Infinity market, from injectors to new fuel system components, a bunch of cool, really neat safety stuff that doesn't exist in the market yet for the vehicles, just so we can support the higher horsepower cars. Turbo kit, bolted turbo options, I mean, you name it. All the stuff that's kind of in the long-term development, but the Infinity guys, we're still taking care of it.
I've always been, it's the first time I've seen it.
So we got built this portable base. So basically it's pneumatically powered. It raises up so as the wheels can move around. Then when you're ready to set it down, you need a really steel base. When you're measuring this thing, you need a steel base. It can't move around because that's your reference point. So we'll kind of drop it on the car, scan it as much as we can, move it back around and start scanning again. But that's kind of what this thing is. And these things are not cheap. It's like 40, 50 grand for this little thing. So yeah.
It's been upgraded twice as well.
Yeah. Lance mentioned it briefly, but we're doing transmissions now. So really we're opening up our transmission program for the V10, so like the Huracan and second gen Audi R8 DCT transmission. We're doing gear sets, clutches, working with Datsun on all that stuff, and we're doing them here for now. We're moving some of that down there, kind of create a new space, move the ultrasonic cleaner for the engines and the transmissions over there, and set up a nice area over there so we're not cluttering Lance's R&D area with transmission builds.
No.
There's a little more over here.
So this side should be expanded. We're gonna move our printer room out of here, and this will be all engineering offices. So tell the little crammed in right there. So we're gonna open up the wall here and expand our engineering to both these spaces.
So with the 3D printers as well, I'm sure you've already seen the engine room, but these guys are a little temperamental to heat, humidity, and also dust. We're actually going to build this into a clean room, very similar to the engine room. So basically fresh filtration, we filter the door, climate controlled, control the humidity so the filament isn't as affected. The goal is basically to get 3D prints that are far more accurate and quick. So all the 3D printers are going to go in there. It'll be a self-contained room, so it should be really, really nice.
Could you explain to us real quick this monster printer that we got here?
This guy is a monster.
This thing is pretty impressive.
So recently we have 4 Prusas, so small format printers. Any of the larger assemblies would print in sections and basically just glue them together. But for the larger stuff, we needed something a little bit different. So we got this guy. This guy has a 2 foot by 2 foot by 4 foot print bed. That's one of the reasons why I have a 55 kilogram spool of filament sitting there on the floor. But this has the ability to print, let's say, full intakes, intake systems, intake manifolds. Hell, we could even print the engine block if we really wanted to, all in one shot. So without even leaving the bed. We've actually run some prints that run for a little over 7 days, nonstop.
Because before, if you needed to make a big part, you basically would have to cut that part up into sections, right? Print on all of these and put them together, but that could introduce inaccuracies, right?
Exactly, and for most stuff it's totally fine, but if we do need to start looking at stuff in a more critical kind of fitment, then it's definitely ideal to print that all in one shot.
So Lance, what happens when it's printing for 6 days on a 7-day print and then it messes up?
You're probably so mad.
That's the reason why we're focusing a lot on that room for specifically 3D printing, so we have far more control in a more kind of scientific environment.
Well, there's nothing too exciting back here. A lot of inventory.
More Garrett stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So this is kind of.
I've never been back here yet.
Yeah. This is kind of our overstock room. We use this for additional storage to again kind of fulfill what Andrew was talking about, having a certain number of products on the shelf for our customers, and this is kind of where we store all that stuff. The cool part about this room though is this is going to be the new fabrication unit. We're actually going to cut holes in the walls all the way from the R&D unit into this one, and then into the next two as well. So it'll be just one big open space. Yeah,
That's gonna be cool.
it's gonna be cool.
That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna make it feel huge.
Absolutely. Should we jump into the new units next door and kind of show everybody what they look like right now?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So again, they're still kind of moving stuff out of here, but soon.
Yeah, we're going to be moving a lot of the manufacturing operations down here. So this office is going to be for production manager, inventory manager, shipping manager, purchasing manager. They're all going to be down here. So there's two units here. So this one over here is going to be shipping, receiving, and finished goods. So that way, whenever we get an order, they can just pull it, ship it real quick. And then next door over there is going to be raw materials and kitting. So essentially, once the fabricators are done doing their job, it's going to go through that door, right over to the kitting guys. They're going to package it up, move it over here, where it's going to sit in a finished form.
We got the newest in 8K monitors right here. We got delivered.
Oh, dude.
So,
Yo, why'd you spend all that money on these? That's insane, dude.
another week or so, if everything is spaced, they should be out of here.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be filming like the floors, so I wanna, we'll do some time lapses in here while they're making it look all pretty.
Like lights, man.
Electricity. Yeah.
I love a nice, clean, well-lit space. So, we, like an R&D went overboard light. So we have.
It look, yeah.
I mean, but when I work in a car and everyone be like, oh, I need a flashlight. I want to see everything I'm working on. I think it's ultra critical. So same thing with in these spaces. We're making sure it's got the correct lighting for what we need. I mean, inventory like here. The mezzanines, we're doing LED lights. I know with motion sensors, kind of conserve electricity. We're getting into pirate ships too. We're gonna do some pirate ships,
Nice.
some whales.
Is that for the Lamborghini or the? Is that Supra?
We're gonna actually let's take you up and we're gonna put a sail on a Lamborghini. Wait for a tailwind. Just
We can run next door real quick. That one, there's not a lot of light in there, but we'll see what we can see. So over here, this is kind of the same layout, except all the raw materials are going to go back in the mezzanine over there, and then the kitting guys are going to be in this big area right here. It's long overdue.
So this is all obviously still from the previous. Yeah. So. Awesome. Well, this is exciting. I mean, I'm super pumped. This is gonna be a lot of content to film, but I know you guys probably want to see it. I know they're extremely excited.
Absolutely.
You guys have probably been waiting for this for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, started in the garage. It was Arnie and myself. I was actually Arnie had a house, and my rent to him for living with him was working on his car because I was living with my parents. I was working for my dad for free because he didn't have money to pay me. He had a really small machine shop, just him and I. So it was awesome working with him and then living at home in a tiny 1,100 square foot house my parents have. So I couldn't take that any longer. So yeah, started in the garage, started working on Mercors and making parts and fabricating stuff for Mercors, and then we took over a small space. My dad actually had a space he rented out next to his space in anticipation of a job he didn't get. So he let us use that space for a year until get our feet, and that's kind of started. It started from there, and that was our first location.
That was in Arlington Heights,
yeah,
right?
on Oakton Street. And then we moved here, which is over there. It's about 17,000 square feet, and then we added 3,000, another 3,000. Now adding another 6,000. So
it's very impressive, man. Just thinking about starting in a garage and then turning into this. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's crazy. The company started almost 20 years ago officially, 2001. So next year will be our 20-year anniversary. So I can't believe it's flew by that fast. It's insane how fast it's gone, and the changes the company's gone through, good and bad. And it's all very interesting. In the past few years, have been really a challenge, but for good reasons though. And having a passion for what you do only gets you so far. You actually have to make a living out of it. Turns out that's kind of really been the focus of the business is keep it fun, keep it interesting, keep the passion, but actually make it a successful business in itself. And this is part of it. And it's kind of I think a big step, it's a final step, but it's a really big step towards that final kind of iteration of what my envision of AMS as a company is. So I'm super excited for it.
All right, well, we hope you guys enjoyed that shop tour today. It's pretty exciting, all the new things that AMS has in store. So we're gonna be recording pretty much all of this, from the flooring to the electricity to everything, the whole process of moving the fabrication unit, the shipping unit, all over to those new spaces. So stay tuned and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't, because there's a lot of content that is coming. If you guys are interested in joining the Alpha Army, go ahead and visit amsperformance.com/shop to go pick up some merch today.